The riddle Roddlesworth. Is it going, everybody? Back in a much greener and luscious Roddlesworth wood. Just for a one night tonight. Apologies if I seem a bit at the first few entries of this video. I've just come away from pub with my dad. I've had a couple of pints. Not too daft. But I've been out in the sun all day, and as you'll later find out, you know, my immune system's just got back to full form, so those pints have hit me quite quickly. But not to worry, we'll have a good little stroll through the woods just to kind of clear old cobwebs. Oh, beautiful in here tonight. Yeah, it's about 6:30 now, so I'm just going to go to my usual pitch, get pitched up, get a coffee on go, chill out and have a nice little wild camp. So if you want to see what I get up to in this latest video, please do. I've had a lovely day today with my dad. Been up to Morecambe, and the original plan for today was go to Morecambe because he had a bus rally on, and I said I'll come with you, you know, like I'll tag along, and you know, maybe somewhere around there find somewhere to Wildcamp, and then tomorrow I'll just make my own way home. Got halfway up motorway, heading up towards Morecambe. Realised I forgot these bad boys. Well, they're not trekking poles, as my mum keeps telling me. They are tent poles that Lanshan Pro 2. So, to be fair, it's that warm tonight. I could probably just sleep in my sleeping bag on the floor and I'd be fine. But, you know, you don't really want to. Get these bluebells. Beautiful. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, tonight. And I was a bit worried because when we were at the pub was just chocker for a Sunday, late Sunday afternoon. I mean, it's a beautiful day, so obviously people have been hiking about all day. But I was a bit like, there's going to be loads of people in Roddlesworth. Not seen anybody yet. So yeah, which is how I like it really. I'm coming wild camping. I don't particularly like bumping into people in case they get the suspicious stashes on. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? You're going to trash the countryside, you dirty bagger. So anyway, yeah. Because I didn't have trekking poles. Sorry, tent poles. I'm going to take the mickey out of me for that. My family, when this is finally uploaded. It's the beer. Blame it on the beer. Yeah, I was like, well, you know, I was going to maybe go somewhere around the River Loon. Or Lonsdale, I want to say. Hopefully that's right. And then my dad and my mum were going to pick me up tomorrow, but obviously forgot me tent poles. So I was like, right, well, can I just go to Roddlesworth, you know, like on way on, because we're not going to be out all day. So that's how I've ended up here. And yeah, not camped here since February. So yeah, it's my first wild camp here in March, April, 3 months, well 4 really, so it started February. so it didn't look like this. And the last time I was here, it was long gone pitch black at this time, which we'll talk about a bit more in a little bit. But yeah, I've had a great day. Wildcamp bus rally were really good. Got to have a ride on a few vintage buses with my dad, and obviously buses are his passion, so that was nice. Got to have a delectable wild swim in Morecambe Bay, which has realigned all my chakras. Good bit of water grounding with mint. And then yeah, we went to Bella Italia for an early tea in Lancaster. Come to Roddlesworth, just been up to the Royal pub on Main Road, had a couple of pints, and here I am. Because I've not been well, biggies and boggies. I had a bit of a shitty cold, you know, like last weekend. And I wanted to come wild camping at the start of this week, but there was just no chance. I had to ring in sick at work because I was shitting, I was sneezing. You know, I was being, you know, like I think I might have thrown up once or twice in last week. I was doing remedial jobs and I kept getting dizzy and having to sit down. It's horrible. Tell you what, man, I can camp in minus weather. There you go. Right, lads. I can wild camp in minus weather, winter time, up mountains, whatever. Slightest bit of bacteria gets in my nostrils and I'm medicked. I'm right in my will. So yeah, it's not very pleasant. And I wouldn't even say I'm absolutely 1,000,000% today. I'm a lot better than what I was. Better enough to entertain a wild camp. So yeah, here we are. Just moseying my way through now. And gonna get to my pitch pretty soon at Pine Forest. Get all set up and have a chill out. Just doing a bit of early wood foraging for later on. Probably like a fire, a small fire. Probably after 9 o'clock. But this is just what is the best time. This is what's best about wild camping this time of year. Obviously I've had a full day out with Papa Bear, and you know, it's still not gonna, it won't be pitch black till gone 10 o'clock. It's just shy of 7 now, so I'm just moseying about here, just gently gathering little bits of really dry firewood, and I'm going to get my tent set up, make a brew, and then just chill out, meditate for a bit. Yeah, last time, I said it in the intro, you know, I've wild camped in Roddlesworth now a few times, but it's always been in autumn and winter. You know, I did my coldest ever wild camp here back in end of November, when it were like what, -2 at night. You know, and before that, coldest I've ever camped was probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 degrees. That was time when people thought I was legit gonna die. And I did a wild camp here in February, said in the intro, but that time I came here in February, I came to this exact spot. And I can't remember if I mentioned it in any of my videos since, but my energy levels that night were just all over the place. You know, I'm really quite on edge. You know, and I don't talk about it as often as I used to, you know, like the whole Bigfoot and supernatural thing, because, you know, I wild camp that much now and nothing ever happens, you know, touch wood. But I never even feel anything, I never get any sense of energy except Roddlesworth Wood. This is the one place that is a bit dicey, if I'm quite honest. And that night in particular, it was a bit of a weird one, and I put it down to maybe just, you know, sort of pre-match nerves, because I hadn't done a wild camp for good 2 months at that point. So I kind of like, you know, wanted to come back to Roddlesworth when it's this time of year. Not necessarily as an experimental comparison, but I do love Roddlesworth. I think it's a beautiful place, you know, like even before my wild camping days, I've hiked through here many times on my own and with my dad. And I've always really liked it. It's a nice alternative to Billingswood, you know, where I usually go stomping. So it's not far from home, it's about a 5-mile walk home. Which obviously I'll do, and that's another thing, like tomorrow obviously when I'm packed up and I'm going, it's straight road back into Blackburn, on my side of Blackburn where I live, so kind of eliminates me having to commute or rely on people to pick me up. So yeah, that's mainly why I chose to come back and do a wild camp here. But I reckon, you know, I did a wild camp on Entwistle Res. That was my last, no it weren't, it was one before my last solo camp. The solo camps at Coniston, set of Coniston when I was doing Cumbria Way. And before that I did Entwistle Res. That's another place that's a little bit, not as much as Roddlesworth, but there's some at Entwistle. And I felt mint. I was so relaxed on that wild camp. You know, it didn't go dark, gone at 9:30. I had a nice little fire. My tunes were on. I was in woods, which as you know is my happy place. So yeah, it should be a good one, really. I'm not looking for Bigfoot, I swear. She's still so pretty. Look at it. This is something I'm going to show you later on. I might as well show you now. There's no time like the present. This sticky sap. It's bit my tongue. This sticky sap that's coming out of this tree bark. I think that's quite flammable, you know. So I might do a bit of, might dab some Kindle on it later on and see if it takes light better. Who knows? Right, I'm going to shut up now. Get me tent pitched up. So I got my fire going. It's nearly 8 o'clock. And, you know, don't get it twixt bigs and bogs. I've not lit a fire tonight to stay warm, that's for sure, because it's plenty warm enough. It's more just to keep the bastard and midges away. Once smoke gets into it, they'll soon piss off. But I think this is probably the best I've ever set the Landsham Pro 2 up, because, as I've noted in prior videos, I felt like there was something not quite right with this tent. And maybe I've been ripped off. It's because I was missing this little bit of paracord on this feature here. And when I checked in the clip bag, the peg bag I should say, for this tent, because I've been using pegs from me Van Gogh, because they've got the hook on them, which I much prefer, as opposed to the ones from the Landsham, which are just like straight sticks really. And yeah, I've threaded them in on that side and this side, and she looks a lot better. You know, those pegs have really brought out her contour lines on her figure and made her look even more sexier than she already is. So yeah, happy days. I don't think I'm going to do any more filming now for tonight. I just want to enjoy Hellfire, have a couple of cans, and just zen out in Mother Nature. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a much more relaxed and calm night tonight. I'm sure it will be, because it's just beautiful around here. You know, it's much more inviting with all this greenery. You know, you can see all bluebells. I filmed loads in intro. It's just height of spring really. I need to tend to my fire because she's going out. So I'll see you all in the morning. Good night. Good morning. Biggles and boobies. Not a bad view to wake up to. I'm alright. Just got my first brew on the go this morning. Slept pretty well. I went to bed really early actually, from our standards anyway. We're about 10 o'clock and it still weren't even properly dark actually when I went to sleep. Remember when just before I shut the tent up, you could just kind of see, you know, like beyond the tree line there, the sky wasn't fully pitch black. There's still tiny bits of light coming through. So yeah, I woke up about 12:30 for a wee, jumped out, did my business, jumped back in, fell asleep straight through to about 5ish. And I've just been on and off really since then. It's just about 10 to 8 now. You always get to that point when you do a wild camp. You should always try and get as much sleep as you can. But there always comes a point where you're like, yeah, that's as much as I'm getting on this one. So yeah, really good, overall really good sleep. Just had a phenomenal time out here last night. You know, I had my fire going, or, you know, having a couple of cans and watching a menagerie of things on Netflix and YouTube and listening to my tunes a bit, tooting pipe, having a really relaxing time. So yeah, grab my brew, have some fruit and all that clobber, and then get packed down and head home. So I'll see you in a bit. Leave no trace, as usual. Ah, man, do I love walking with a nice light pack. As sad as it is always to go home from a wild camp, the massive bonus is how light your pack is. Just gasping because of how unbelievably gorgeous it is in here today. My favourite time of year when all, you know, bracken ferns start coming up. It makes it feel lost world AF. But yeah, leave no trace because I'm going to be dishing dirty here, bigs and bogs. I don't want to, but it's not hard to tidy up after yourself. You know, I've got my bag of rubbish in here with all my little clings and clangs in. Tidied my fire pit away, took me 5 minutes. You know, my name was, not recently, but when I went to Entwistle Reservoir, my name was unfortunately called into question because of some graffiti. I'm lost, mate. Look, it's because it's oh, there's the path. Yeah, my name was called into question a couple of weeks ago about some graffiti that happened somewhere. I'm not going to say where and mention names, but this person got in touch with me from a association, and she was like, you know, can you come back and tidy your mess up please? And I was like, excuse me, that is nothing to do with me. I'm a very responsible wild camper. I take great pride in my hobby and leave no trace. I adhere to that code all the time. And yeah, she must have just sensed what an alpha I am. And then she tried to get a bit flipping cocky with me, and she was like, oh well, for your information, wild camping is illegal in this country. I was like, for your information, sweetheart, I'm actually wild camping right now. I sent her a picture of me with my tent, but have a nice day. She didn't reply to that. Grrr! Honestly, man. Yeah, I know it is illegal wild camping in the UK. I'm not born idle. But obviously if you do decide to come out here on your own with a little tent have a little fire pit, have a few tinnies, whatever. You know, logic, I would hope, dictates that you're at least responsible enough to tidy up your mess. Like where I go camping in that pine forest, there is evidence that people have wild camped in there before. You know, there was like an old grill thing I found in bushes, old, you know, like steel grill that someone must have been using for a fire. They've not took it with them. You know, it's if you don't know how to tidy a fire pit away properly, just educate yourself, because it's not difficult. And again, you know, there's patches in there, patches of ground where you can see it's char grilled from people having fires and not knowing how to light them and tie them away. Anyway, rant over. But anyway, I still stand by what I say about Roddlesworth. It is a weird place. Excuse me. Granted, oh god, excuse me, I've swallowed up that nasty little hill. So I'm still getting my breath back. Yeah, granted, last night I was much more comfortable and relaxed than times prior. I've camped here, but I can feel it right now, even just walking through. You know, when I was back down at my little camp, mooching about yesterday, there is energy in this place, and I don't feel it really anywhere else that I camp. You know, like I said yesterday, Entwistle's a bit murky, but Roddlesworth, it's overpowering almost. Just how strong the energy is in here. You know, so I really need to hook up with Winter Hill gang again. Shout out Winter Hill investigation team. You did a phenomenal video in here in group investigation. I need to hook back up with you guys soon. Hopefully. It's part of being an adult, I suppose. We all live busy adult lives, don't we? Hard to link up with people. But yeah, there's a couple of YouTube channels that I'm going to give them shout outs. You know, they don't know me from Adam, obviously, but there's the Brothers Grimm's or something like that. 2 UK lads, I'm guessing they're brothers. They go out looking for Bigfoot, and I think they're onto some quite good stuff. You know, like some of the shorts and little YouTube videos I've seen, potential capturing Bigfoot on camera. Yeah, shout out you guys, keep up the good work. And then there's Manning Cryptids UK, who caught a superb, in my opinion, the best footage ever of a British Bigfoot. In this video you can see this half obscured bipedal figure in a dense pine forest, and it's clearly covered in hair. It's got lips, chin, shoulder, you know, distinct corn head. Typical identifying factors of a UK Bigfoot, slash Bigfoot in general. Whew, man. And his dog, what makes this video all the more interesting is his dog's going absolutely ballistic during the recording. So yeah, Manning Cryptids UK, keep it up. Well, we're back out Main Road. That's where we started yesterday. Me and Dad, Royal Pub. Shout out Royal Arms it's called. Royal Arms, Roddlesworth. Right, I'm going to shut up now, get my headphones on, and get home. So, been a superb wild camp. Just what the doctor ordered after not feeling well last week. I might try and get another one in, but maybe the next time I'll see you is when I go to Scotland next month with my dad. We'll see. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, leave us a like if you want to, leave us a comment if you want, subscribe if you haven't already, don't have to if you don't want to. We'll see you further on down the road. Bye bye.